Welcome to the channel. So we're going to go ahead and start figuring out what all we need to do to get the Hemi in here. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and take these old engine mounts off. We won't be needing those no more. So I picked up some engine mounts. This is a universal kit. It's for the Hemi engines. And it comes with 4 tabs. And you can cut these to whatever size you need. So I don't want to weld those to the unibody. I need to make some kind of bracket to bolt on like how the factory was. So I gotta get a few pieces of metal so I can start building that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these new mounts on the Hemi, because I really need to go ahead and set it in place. That way I'll know exactly where to make the mounts. So I'm gonna go ahead and start taking stuff out of the engine bay that we don't need. So we won't be needing the factory cruise control no more, which that wouldn't work for the Hemi anyway. And then we can go ahead and remove the evap lines. We won't be needing those. And I'll try to clean this up a little bit. Okay, now that I got a lot of stuff out of the way, I'm gonna go ahead and start making some frame plates. I'm gonna make something kind of similar to the factory ones. So I've been taking some cardboard. That way I know how to cut all these lines out. Cause this ain't completely flat here, it's got some bends in it. So that make it easier with building the plates. So I got some pieces cut, and now I'm going to go ahead and tack some of these together. So now that everything is tacked up, I'm gonna go ahead and weld this up. So I got that part made, and now I cut out another piece to bolt right there on those 3 studs. I got both of the frame plates made. So before I paint them, I need to go ahead and set the engine down in here so I can figure out exactly where to weld the engine mounts to. So it looks like on the passenger side, looks like we got plenty of room. Looks like the manifold just a little bit close to the frame in the back, but I should be able to fix that. And I believe we got enough room for the AC compressor. Everywhere else looks pretty good. So I need to get this lined up exactly how I want it and go ahead and tack the mounts on. Before I do that, I need to make sure the transmission and everything's okay. Make sure there's enough room. So the transmission and transfer case seems to be pretty good. It is a little bit tight where the transfer case linkage goes, so I'm going to have to figure out something about that. I think they actually make a cable shifter for the transfer case, so I may have to try to find something like that. I think other than that being close right there, I think everything else seems to be okay. I need to check on the main top just to make sure it ain't hitting the floorboard anywhere. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the center console out. That way I can run the shifter cables and everything I need. And I need to go ahead and take the gas pedal out. We'll be using the one from the Hemi because they got the electronic gas pedal. Okay, so I got the engine pulled back out. There's a few places I gotta cut and tweak a little bit. I did hammer just a little bit of the unibody right there, just make more room on the exhaust manifold. And did just a little bit on the driver's side. Look like on the back, I think I'm gonna probably cut this lip out, and that should leave enough room. So I pulled back the carpet a little bit. So looks like I'll have to fix a little bit of rust. But I can tell it's just surface rust, so that'd be pretty easy. Just sand that down and paint it. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the stock pedal. Looks like it's a 10mm. So it looks like I'll be able to use that bottom stud for the gas pedal. That top one, I'll have to take it out, but I can definitely use that bottom one. I got the gas pedal lined up where it needs to be. Now I'm gonna go ahead and tack the bolts. I'll be able to bolt it down. So now that we got some more things out of the way, I'm gonna go ahead and set the engine back down in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and measure for the engine mounts and go ahead and tack those on there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I have the mounts cut to size, and now I'm gonna go ahead and tack them on there, and then we'll pull the engine out and go ahead and fully weld it up. So the mounts are painted, so I'm gonna go ahead and bolt these down. I believe the engine bay is now ready to put the engine in and bolt it down. Okay, so I got the engine bolted down and everything on the top looks pretty good, but one thing I did notice, so hopefully you can see this good. So the problem I'm having is the exhaust manifolds. As you can see, the manifold is pretty close to the control arm brackets, so I'm probably going to do the exhaust last, because I think I'm going to have to cut these brackets off and put a 4-link kit on. I could probably bend the exhaust around, but that'll just put a sharp angle, and I don't really want to do that. Now on the passenger side, I didn't realize how close that actually was. So you can see the flange is almost against the unibody, so I'm going to have to pull the engine back out and kind of notch that area out some. Then I'll have to put something to plate it back in to make it real strong, since that is part of the unibody. It won't take much. Since I'm probably going to go with a 4-link, I'm going to hold off on the cross member, because if I do that, I'll have to get a different cross member, or I might even build my own. I'll probably end up building my own cross member, since I got to modify the transmission mount to work with it. Okay, so there's a few things I need to do in the engine bay area. So I'm going to have to make a place to set the radiator. And since that one is a little bit bigger, I'm probably going to have to cut this area out. This is going to do it for part 1 of the Hemi install. So the next video, I'll probably be mounting the radiator. I got to mount the cooling fan, the power steering cooler. Then I'll have to run all the wiring and figure all that out. I am going to have to change the power steering pump and put one in from a Dodge Charger, because on the Grand Cherokee the fitting's odd in style. So I'm going to change that out. It's the same pump, just got different inlet and outlets. A lot easier to mess with. And I'm going to put the reservoir probably right here, so I gotta make a bracket for that. And also on the Grand Cherokee, this power steering pump also powers the cooling fan, so we're going to do away with all that. And I got to figure out somewhere to mount the computer, but that'll be all in the next video. So if you're enjoying these videos, please consider hitting the subscribe button, and thanks for watching.